Daddy's chair, still facing the window tonight. Same old cushion, worn thin on the right side. Rain rolling down, that same piece of glass. Man, some things quit moving long before they leave. His coffee mug still sitting on the shelf, tiny crack running down the handle like a river. Mama kept saying she ought to throw it away. Funny thing, nobody ever did. Daddy's chair still facing the window, nobody sits there now. Daddy's chair still facing the window, nobody sits there now. Sunrise comes, sunset goes, the old chair stays around. Lord, a house can lose a man and still keep his shape. Daddy's chair still facing the window, nobody sits there now. Found his reading glasses inside the end table drawer, folded newspaper still marking page 7. Man, I reached for that chair today just to tell him something, then remembered. On the wall, still ticking steady. The years keep moving, the room don't seem to know. Maybe love don't leave, maybe it just gets quiet. Daddy's chair still facing the window, nobody sits there now. Daddy's chair still facing the window, nobody sits there now. The rain still falls, the seasons change, the world keeps spinning round. Leave this life, but never leave the room. Daddy's chair still facing the window, nobody sits there now. Rain still falling, chair still waiting. Daddy's chair by the window. Scrolling through old contacts, couldn't sleep tonight. Names I ain't called in 20 years or more. Then I stopped on Daddy's number. Man, some things get deleted, some things don't. That same area code from the house on Walnut Street, used to hear him answer before the second ring. Hey kid, that's all he'd say. Funny thing, nobody calls me kid anymore. I still save his number, though nobody answers. I still save his number, though nobody answers. Can't bring myself to press delete. Lord, a phone can lose a signal, but love don't disappear. I still save his number, though nobody answers. Phone, 3 upgrades later, still copy that number every single time. Man, I don't even know why. Guess some habits look a lot like missing somebody. Softly against the glass, blue light glowing across the empty room. Maybe grief ain't crying, maybe it's small things you never stop doing. I still save his number, though nobody answers. I still save his number, though nobody answers. The years roll by, the contact stays. Lord, some folks leave this world but never leave your phone. I still save his number, though nobody answers. Screen goes dark, rain keeps falling. I still save his number, still save his number. Found Mama's recipe card tucked inside an old cookbook tonight. Grease stains on the corners, flour dust still hanging on the page. Her handwriting leaning just a little to the left. Man, some folks leave this world, but their hands stay behind. Chicken and dumplings written in faded blue ink, extra pepper if the weather turns cold. Mama never measured much, just trusted her eyes. Funny thing, everything always turned out right. Her handwriting still cooks supper. Her handwriting still cooks supper. The kitchen gets quiet, the recipe don't. Lord, love got a way of staying in ordinary things. Her handwriting still cooks supper. Burn the biscuits just like I always do. Man, for a second I could almost hear her laughing from the doorway, telling me to try again. Steam rising softly from an old soup pot, rain tapping gently against the kitchen screen. Maybe heaven ain't so far, maybe it smells like supper. Sometimes her handwriting still cooks supper. Her handwriting still cooks supper. Years roll by, the ink grows faint, Lord. Some recipes feed a family, others feed a memory. Her handwriting still cooks supper. Kitchen clock ticking, rain still falling. Her handwriting still cooks supper. Passed by the old garage behind Mama's house tonight. That yellow porch bulb still glowing through the rain. Daddy used to leave it on every night after supper. Man, the garage light still burns for a man who ain't coming home. Workbench covered with coffee rings and sawdust, his hammer hanging right where he left it. That old toolbox ain't moved an inch in years. Funny thing, the room still feels occupied. The garage light still burns for a man who ain't coming home. The garage light still burns for a man who ain't coming home. The truck is gone, the boots are too. Lord, some habits outlive the people who started them. The garage light still burns for a man who ain't coming home. Found an old receipt from the hardware store downtown. $3.40 for nails and wood glue. Man, I stood there holding that paper like it was somehow part of him. Dripping softly from the roof outside, dust floating slowly through the workshop light. Maybe grief ain't missing somebody. Maybe it's expecting them to walk through the door. The garage light still burns for a man who ain't coming home. The garage light still burns for a man who ain't coming home. Years pass by, bulbs get changed. Lord, the light ain't waiting anymore. It's remembering the garage light still burns for a man who ain't coming home. Garage door settling, rain still falling. The garage light still burns, still burns, still burns. Coffee brewing, same as every morning. Sun ain't up yet, but the kitchen light is. Reach for 2 mugs like I done for 40 years. Truth is, some habits wake up before we do. Your favorite cup still hanging by the stove. Tiny chip on the rim from that Christmas long ago. Everybody says I ought to pack it away. I reckon some things earn the right to stay. I still make 2 cups sometimes. I still make 2 cups sometimes. One for the table, one for the memory, Lord. Love don't always leave the house when somebody does. I still make 2 cups sometimes. Watching rain on the backyard fence, steam rising slowly from the cup across from mine, you know. For a second there, the room felt full again, like it used to. Clock ticking softly near the refrigerator. Morning news talking nobody listening. Maybe moving on ain't forgetting somebody. Maybe it's learning how to miss them gently. I still make 2 cups sometimes. I still make 2 cups sometimes. The chair stays empty, the coffee gets cold, Lord. Grief ain't loud forever, sometimes it whispers. I still make 2 cups sometimes. Coffee cooling, rain still falling. I still make 2 cups sometimes. Found my brother's fishing hat hanging on a nail tonight. Some faded brim and a hook still caught inside. Been sitting there since the summer he passed. Strange thing, that old hat looks ready to go fishing tomorrow. Every Saturday morning we'd head down to Miller's Bend. Coffee in a thermos, bait rattling in a bucket. Didn't talk much, never needed to. Some folks use words, some folks use company. The river still knows his name. The river still knows his name. Water keeps moving, years keep passing. Lord, some places remember people better than we do. The river still knows his name. Bank about a month ago, caught myself turning, to show him the first fish. Fact is, missing somebody sneaks up on you right when you're smiling about something good. Current rolling softly past the old wooden dock, morning sunlight dancing across the water. Maybe that's why I come here every now and then, to borrow a little time from the river. The river still knows his name. The river still knows his name. The hat grows older, the stories don't. Lord, some brothers leave this world but never leave the boat. The river still knows his name. River rolling, birds singing. The river still knows his name. Still knows his name. Sunday afternoon, the church parking lot was empty. Folded chairs stacked against the fellowship hall wall. Flowers already fading by the front steps. Truth is, the hardest part wasn't goodbye. It was Monday morning. Everybody hugged, everybody cried, everybody promised to keep in touch. Then the casserole stopped coming, the phone got quiet, life kept moving like it always does. The hardest part wasn't goodbye. It was Monday morning. The hardest part wasn't goodbye. It was Monday morning. No visitors, no flowers, no one telling stories. Lord, grief gets real quiet after everybody leaves. The hardest part wasn't goodbye. It was Monday morning. for the coffee grounds, turned around to say something to nobody standing there. You know, loss don't hit all at once. It arrives in little moments for years afterward. Rainwater sliding down the church windows, choir room empty, piano covered up. Maybe healing ain't forgetting, maybe it's carrying somebody without needing both hands. The hardest part wasn't goodbye, it was Monday morning. The hardest part wasn't goodbye, it was Monday morning. The world kept turning, the chair stayed empty, Lord. The service lasted one afternoon, the missing lasts much longer. The hardest part wasn't goodbye, it was Monday morning. Church bell fading, rain still falling. Monday morning, Monday morning. Monday morning. Cleaning out my inbox late one night this week. Deleting all messages, folks trying to sell me things. Then I found your voice buried near the bottom. You know, some sounds get older, some never do. Hey buddy, call me when you get a minute. Nothing important, just an ordinary Tuesday. Didn't know back then I'd play that message someday, like a photograph made out of sound. I replay his voice more than I should. I replay his voice more than I should. Not because I'm stuck, not because I can't move on. Lord, some goodbyes happen once, some happen every listen. I replay his voice more than I should. catches me off guard. That little pause before he hangs up. Truth is, nobody remembers the big moments half as much as the ordinary ones. Rain sliding slowly down the glass tonight, blue screen glowing across the living room. Maybe that's what missing somebody is, holding on to proof they were really here. I replay his voice more than I should. I replay his voice more than I should. The years move on, the message stays. Lord, a recording lasts a minute, a memory lasts much longer. I replay his voice more than I should. Speaker goes silent, rain keeps falling. I replay his voice more than I should. Stop by the barber shop down on Main Street today. Young fella cutting hair called me sir 3 times. Used to be old Mr. Wilson would ruffle my hair and grin. Fact is, nobody calls me kid anymore. Walk past the ball field where we played till dark, bleachers looking smaller than they ever did before. Back then, the old men seemed ancient. Now I catch myself talking like one. Nobody calls me kid anymore. Nobody calls me kid anymore. Mama's gone, daddy's too. Lord, when the folks who raised you leave, you become the old story. Nobody calls me kid anymore. no report card tucked inside a dresser drawer. Teacher wrote, talks too much in class. Ain't it something, that little troublemaker turned into a grandfather without noticing. Evening settling across the neighborhood, porch lights glowing, one house at a time. Maybe growing old ain't losing your youth, maybe it's carrying it a little farther. Nobody calls me kid anymore. Nobody calls me kid anymore. The mirror changed, the years moved on. Lord, I'm still that same boy, just wearing an older face. Nobody calls me kid anymore. Wind chimes singing, night coming down. Nobody calls me kid anymore. Kid anymore. Thanksgiving afternoon, house full of noise again. Grandkids are running through the living room laughing. Turkey on the table, football on TV. Truth is, everything looked the same till supper started. 20 years running, Daddy sat at the far end, always carving turkey like it was serious business. Nobody noticed how much room he filled till the year he wasn't there. We set the table, but not the same way. We set the table, but not the same way. One empty chair changes the whole room. Lord, a family learns the shape of love by the space it leaves behind. We set the table, but not the same way. Pass the gravy bowl to nobody in particular. Almost asked Daddy if the lines were losing again. Strange thing, you don't stop talking to people just because they ain't sitting there. Kitchen wall, windows fog from cooking, old photographs watching from the hallway wall. Maybe family ain't the folks around the table. Maybe it's everybody who still gets invited in your heart. We set the table, but not the same way. We set the table, but not the same way. The recipes stay, the stories stay, Lord. The people we miss most still pull up a chair somehow. We set the table, but not the same way. Dishes soaking, house growing quiet. We set the table, but not the same way. Years old, hands shaking on the steering wheel. Daddy's sitting beside me, chewing on a toothpick. Oh, Chevrolet drifting down a gravel county road. I'll tell you, that truck wasn't worth much, but those afternoons were. Every lesson started with the same three words: look ahead, son. Like he was teaching more than driving. Never raised his voice, even when I stalled it twice. Some men teach patience without ever saying the word. My hands on the wheel still look like his. My hands on the wheel still look all at once. My hands on the wheel still look like his. Driving home tonight, rain dancing on the windshield, caught my reflection in the rearview mirror. Truth is, for half a second, I saw a little of him looking back at me. Stretching across the empty highway, dashboard glowing soft against the dark. Maybe growing older ain't becoming somebody new. Maybe it's discovering who was already there. Still look like his. My hands on the wheel still look like his. The miles keep coming, the years roll by. Lord, the road gets longer, but his lessons right beside me. Still look like his. Turn signal fade, engine humming low. My hands on the wheel still look like his. Walk through the hallway, late tonight before bed. Family pictures hanging, crooked light always. Stopped at one of Daddy, standing by that old pickup. Maybe a photograph holds paper, a memory holds breath. Mama's Bible resting right where she left it years ago. Brother's tackle box still tucked beneath the stairs. Folks call them keepsakes, like they're ordinary things. Truth is, they're introductions to people we miss. Some people leave this world, but never leave the room. Some people leave this world, but never leave the room. Their laugh stays behind, their stories stay too. Lord, love don't know much about endings. It mostly changes addresses. Some people leave this world, but never leave the room. Myself smiling at a joke nobody told. One of Daddy's old sayings popped into my head again. I'll tell you, the dead don't always speak. Sometimes they just sound like us. Moonlight falling softly across the living room floor. Clock still ticking like it always has. Maybe missing somebody, ain't carrying their absence. Maybe it's carrying everything they gave you. Some people leave this world, but never leave the room. Some people leave this world, but never leave the room. The years keep moving, the love stays put. We lose ain't gone, they're woven into everything. Some people leave this world, but never leave the room. House growing quiet, night moving on. Some people leave this world, but never leave the room. Sat out on the porch little longer than usual tonight. Summer air moving through the maple trees. Coffee gone cold hours ago probably. Funny thing, the older I get, the more folks sit with me. Daddy in his chair, Mama in the kitchen humming, my brother by the river, Rusty by the gate. All those voices I thought I lost somehow, turns out they just moved deeper inside me. Good night, old friend, I'll see you in the stories. Good night, old friend, I'll see you in the stories. Every laugh, every lesson, every mile we shared, Lord, the people we love most never really say goodbye. Good night, old friend, I'll see you in the stories. Looked up at the stars, same ones from 50 years ago, back when we thought there'd always be more time. Truth is, a good life ain't measured by how long it lasted, but who shared it with you. Porch light glowing against the midnight dark, screen door swaying in the summer breeze. Maybe healing ain't letting go, maybe it's saying thank you for what stayed behind. Good night, old friend, I'll see you in the stories. Good night, old friend, I'll see you in the stories. The night grows quiet, the years roll on, Lord, love leaves fingerprints on everything it touches. Good night, old friend, I'll see you in the stories. Porch swing slowing, crickets singing. Good night, old friend. Good night. Good night, old friend. Mm.